for blockchains and for crypto. What are you most excited about in terms of the breakthroughs and things that are happening with blockchain and crypto technology? And what do you think it'll have in terms of the greatest impact on everyday people?
Well, let me start with the worst thing that let me show you how even the worst negative is still a net positive for humankind, okay?
Yeah.
Donald Trump launched a Trump token, a meme coin of himself, three days before his inauguration.
Yeah.
And it went to $30 billion market cap.
Wow.
It's not worth 30 billion. 86% to 91% of the supply is held by the top 10 holders, which are his foundation, so it's been an incredible tool to show and highlight how much money can be aggregated by normal people. So in past times, IPOs were invite only. If you wanted to get in on Tesla pre-IPO, you got a phone call from somebody and said, "Hey, you're really wealthy and we want a bunch of your money. You want to buy a really big block at the Costco of equity purchases, and you're getting these wholesale discounts pre-IPO. And you have lockup agreements and you have these things that you have to agree to, but it's not for everybody, and it never was. Again, access is what technology is meant to widen and deepen. And so when you talk about, even as cheesy and as much as I disagree with the money grab meme coin industry, that happens in our current day and age in the form of pink sheet stocks, in the form of lottery tickets, in the form of casinos, and their odds are definitely worse in those than in this arena. So you can say that it's a bad thing that he did that. You can say it's not moral. You can say all the things that, are up to personal choice based upon the consequences of life, and so I wouldn't have done it. But that's not to say that it's not a net positive for the industry. Ultimately, would you rather have the contributions made towards politicians put on a public blockchain that we can analyze and do like incredible deep dives into where all the funds came from? Or would you rather it be funneled through super PACs where you have no idea what's being paid to who, and it's all kind of under this hidden cloak, right? And so even though the way it was executed wasn't the way I would have done it, moving the ball this direction is good for everyone. And so that's like the worst to the best that I can show you. But there's a bunch of things that are much higher priority, like Nostro Vostro accounts, for example. That's money that's being held in escrow in between international banks that charge a large premium to people that want to send money from USA to country X, and it takes 5 days.
Wow.
And so, it's not good for the consumer. It's really good for the banks. But even the banks, because of how the delta of efficiency change and the delta of volume throughput change that the new technology would give them, even they're now going, there's better ways to settle. We don't need 5-day settlements, and we don't need to send it, via the telegraph where we're, it's Morse code over we've got better ways to settle payments is the point. And so blockchain does that in spades. Tether, USDC, all of the stable coins are, some of them are treasury bill backed and have billions and billions of dollar-backed goods behind their stability. And they're a digital, dollar, essentially. They function in that way, minus a tenth of a point or a hundredth of a point. Whereas if you go then to the other network, you're getting charged between 8 and 12% before the end of the day for
Yeah.
international transfers.
It's funny. This makes me wonder. I mean, you probably have a guess of what it actually is going to happen, but where do you see crypto markets and just the whole crypto area goes in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what do you think will happen?
It's pretty clear. I can tell you the more science fiction stuff, but let's just stick to what the smartest people in the room have said. Larry Fink is the expert on all financial matters, and he says that they're going to tokenize real world assets. So every asset that you own, your car title, instead of it being a piece of paper that you've got to hold in some file box somewhere, it'll be a tokenized asset. And that title will be a token that can be sent very easily and remove all the friction and the paperwork that right now, in order to get a license plate, you have to take a bunch of paper into a government building and go, please look at all these paperwork, and all that can be forged. There's tons of fraud in that process. Right. All that can be eliminated. So real world assets coming on chain is going to happen, and it's going to happen, I think, in equities first. I think that the stock market that BlackRock and Citadel and some other big time players have gotten together and said that they're building in Texas is going to be the central hub to tokenize anything and everything that you want to tokenize. And what's exciting about that is that just the innovation of tokenizing those assets and freeing up those assets to be tradable, it removes so much friction from the financial network. Just the efficiency delta that we'll accomplish in that alone will be massive. Everything will be digitized, and everything will be peer-to-peer, and everything will be instantly settled, and there will be no more fraud on your credit card. Those days are over as soon as this switch is flipped. And so, blockchain is immutable. It's decentralized to some degree, depending upon what chain. Like that's not all created equal. Some blockchains more closely resemble a traditional database than anything else, but it's a lot more efficient. It's like having an AI operator on the traditional database. It has built-in instructions that do things that humans used to have to do. So that, coupled with the AI race that we now are very aware of based upon Davos and what was said there. Did you catch the interview with the gentleman that said that China has way more NVIDIA chips? So, that's going to be the new race of the future, is computing power. And it's not only computing power for innovating blockchain, but innovating then AI that will then run blockchain for us. So the ramps are going to get easier. The products are going to get more plentiful. And you're going to get to participate. Like right now, I gave the analogy on a podcast yesterday that right now, the crypto space, have you ever crossed the Nevada line and stopped at a gas station like 2 miles over?
Sure.
The 3 slot machines that are in the corner that are all, degenerate slot machines from 30 years ago. That's where the crypto market is now. And we haven't even seen what Vegas looks like. Like Vegas is going to blow everybody's mind. I think we have a lot to see in front of us. And I think that's why Trump's made it kind of front and center in saying the USA is going to be the capital of both AI and crypto. And I think that's a pretty, it's going to take a lot of money, and it's going to take a lot of our American innovation and ingenuity. And there's plenty of help worldwide, but we understand capitalism at a way that few countries do. And the efficiency deltas that these technologies bring to corporations is just off the charts. I mean, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait for that future, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.